You from Atlanta originally, huh? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was born in Atlanta.
That's cool. It's real cool. All right. As far as okay. I consider black women to be an indicator to a degree. As far as I think they in Islam they compare them to water in the moon cycle and water being able to. I know they got the little DVD out there with the guy from China or Japan or wherever, and he got the little he froze the water and you can see the crystals in the water, and he puts words on there like ugly and then pretty, and the crystals form in the different patterns, and the nasty words is pretty discombobulated patterns, and the beautiful, pretty smart. They have pretty complex crystal patterns and whatnot. And since the woman is associated with water, I noticed that as far as if you're living with a woman, she can pretty much be an indicator of outside activity that hasn't really manifested and shown at the particular time. I'll give you an example. I was living with a girl, and I was involved in activity. I had work and whatnot, if you know what I mean. And she was throwing random attitudes, and it didn't really have much. I was like, well, where's all this coming from? But it was because the environment was kind of getting on the outside. It was getting a little unstable because there was being watched and whatnot because I was involved in illegal activity. And at that time, I kind of I seen that was an indicator of because even your mother sometime or sons notice your mother call you when you in some part of danger, something going on. Your mama call you, what you doing? And she can sense that quicker than the father. He'll brush it off or some shit or won't even get nothing out of it, period. So, as far as that is concerned, I'm gonna reach even further with that. I see they got this show called The Walking Dead, and I remember on the first show they actually did indicate that homeboy, the sheriff, his wife was going off on him and fighting, and she was saying some horrible things to him, and she even said later she didn't even know why she was saying it, but then after that, a couple of days later, the end of civilization came. And I tied that in. They didn't make any points to let everybody know that in the movie, but I pretty much had it on my mind for a long time, so I tied it in with the movie. So as far as what we're seeing now, the type of displays that we see on TV, I just got off the Greyhound yesterday. The behavior, I see a lot of behavior that seems to be pointing towards, because I have in my book as far as reasons to become a goddess, and I consider you one also. I scratched the definition of somebody flying around in the sky and whatnot with powers and whatnot. I changed that whole definition up. So I changed that from that. So as far as being an indicator, and with the in the reality shows, she's throwing drinks, it's kind of a combative energy going on when it's in the house. You think that there is a rougher time headed, and maybe the woman could be an indicator showing that?
I think the rougher time is already here. The woman is always the indicator, and unfortunately, many times the man is peaceful to that. So, in the type of men she dealt with, or the type of men she has not dealt with. So that's a sad thing when I see that happening. And you have to realize when you say goddess, what I realize is those women, even in that behavior, are still goddesses, but their rule is paving the way for a nation to treat themselves and other women the same way those women are showing by example on those reality shows. See, that's the thing. You cannot have a one-sided goddess. Just because she's good and she's elevating the people through her actions, even inaction and behavior, That doesn't mean that that's the only way she can be magical, because she elevates. She also has power to bring light as well as darkness. She has the power to give light. She has the power to abort it or to retard it, make it stand still, literally. That's the way that I see it. Everything has a black, a white, and a gray space in it. So when you're dealing with the behavior of these women, they are, unfortunately, still in a goddess mode, but they're in a dark goddess because they're dealing with the derogatory foul
Mm-hmm.
So they are still functioning as a goddess, but in a way that's going to lead to death.
Okay. Okay. All right. Does lying too much cause negative karma?
Well, it depends on what they lie about or for.
Mm-hmm.
What type of lie they telling? Are you lying because you're trying to protect someone? Or are you lying to be deceitful in your nature to get something that you want, to manipulate someone?
What if it's all of the above on an everyday basis?
What says they lie on an everyday basis?
Yeah, everyday basis.
Like, what do you mean? Like a woman? What do you mean?
It can be sexual lies. It can be lies about just not even really doing nothing, and then lying about the time frame, where they was, and I was actually relating it to the law of attraction, and what you put out there, you get back, and that was actually part of the conclusion of the book. It's about, because I know I would assume goddess and magic go together, so I was going to and put that in the end. Okay, we get all this together first, then we do magic. You know what I'm saying? We get the lies cut down to a bare minimum, then we do magic.
Yeah, is even when you are lying, you are doing magic. Mm-hmm. Yes, you're still doing magic. It does not omit the magic because you lie.
Mm-hmm. Does it have any? Would it have any bearing on the outcome of the ritual or magic ceremony or whatever?
It depends on what type of speech. That's what I'm saying.
That's right. I feel you. You're right. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, because I've been a victim of it, you don't always get what you put out. You don't always get to it back when you give to it. I know that from personal experience, and that started with my childhood. So when you are lying to someone to sway them to go in a certain direction or to get sex, something else, what I'm saying is you're still doing magic because you are influencing someone, even though it's a lie, through mental science to impose your will on their mind, or to cause them to convince themselves to subject themselves to your will.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is the type of magic you're talking about.
Okay.
You must be talking about positive magic, but even if it is negative and you're a liar, you are still exercising that ability to impose your will on someone else. You're still casting a spell. An illusion, and an idea that does not exist anywhere other than the fairy tale that you have spun in your mind through, like you said, lying, treachery, and deceit, and then you have convinced someone to take on that fairy tale and then accept it as truth and rationalize this in their mind, and then start to act it out according to your beliefs to get the response and the outcome that you want based on the lie you told.
Okay, but you also said there's many different types of lies, so it would depend.
It is.
Yeah.
You tell your child that Santa Claus bought the toys. That's a lie. So Santa Claus gonna come in the house and eat them milk and cookies. That's a lie. You're telling them their daddy is out of town and he's in prison. That's a lie. You don't want to hurt the child. Because they can't handle the truth. That's a different kind of lie than lying to get some pussy.
Right. Okay. This Black Madonna, and I noticed that a certain group pray to this image. Do you think this is a form of telepathic control over the black woman?